Hi, and welcome to Wisefish Chess Academy. Today we have another interesting video on a game that was played online between myself, the account Miasma01, against my opponent who calls himself O3GX. Now, I chose this game specifically because it has very interesting ideas, and which I wanted to show you. Ideas which myself I missed in the game. But I thought that after the analysis, there were some instructive things that I could have played. The game ended in a draw. But I won it, but I mean, it should have been a draw, really. So I played d4. I play this a lot. f5. 5 is not too common anymore, but it's a very solid opening. Usually, some of the players actually play e6, knight f6, maybe bishop to b4 or bishop e7, and then castle. And sometimes they go for a stone wall with the d5 variation and c6, and then knight b to d7. So that setup is quite very solid for black, and black can get some really nice hold of the center and also an attack on the queen side with moves like g5, h5, f4, and remember when the knight had moved to e6, then moved also to e4 at some point. So yeah, so it's a very interesting setup. So I'm aware of what it's from. So he played knight f6. I play f4. Now this just to disrupt the whole process of black. It might not be the best move, but I'm still plus 0.1 better on the engine. So just destabilize him a bit. Non-standard things. Take him off guard. So he plays e6, continues the normal setup. I play h5. And then just again, I play h6. And I play bishop g5. Now you might wonder, doesn't this actually help black consolidate? Because I think black here can actually just castle and it's really safe in that place for now. This is a long-term strategic idea, and that pawn actually became a thorn in the flesh. And until the end of the game, it did not win the game for me, but it created so much havoc in his game. So bishop g5 just creating a pin, basics of opening. Now he plays a strong setup, like I had mentioned. So I just develop knight f3, knight c6, e3, h6, preventing my bishop from jumping over here to the b5 square to pin his knight. Bishop d3, I need to develop my bishop. Play bishop e7, knight comes to the center, bishop goes back, just dealing with this whole pin, making my bishop look not very useful anymore. But hey, I'm not worrying too much about that. I play queen to e2, preparing the long castle. It takes, knight goes to the center, and then a beautiful move. The bishop just reclines and goes back to f3. Now, of course, the threat is simply to play f3 on the knight, and the knight apparently does not have a square to go. And I found a very good move, which was the best actually, c5. As you can see, my bishop is also being attacked. So I played f3, and then he found another brilliant move, knight times e3. And now he has this idea, or if I take, he has this idea of forking and getting his piece back. So here the best move is to take to the queen, play d5, d4, takes to the queen, and black is just slightly better, probably because of the bishop here, and so on. He has a better hold of this area. His only weakness is on e6, and that's exactly what I want to try to explore. In this position, I played c7. I was a bit worried about a move like b5, but maybe it wasn't as very dangerous as it looks. Because let's say if I play so, he plays b4, queen goes to b3, and then the bishop will soon move to c4, and then I'm putting a lot of pressure here. And he coming back to the challenge in any way. And that, of course, now that castling for him now becomes a problem. And I'm just really better in this setup with my rook also dominating the open d4. So he didn't play that. So when he played, he chose to play c7, queen c7. I still cancelled. He cancelled there, which I think is okay. I played b3, not very accurate, but I just wanted to get some breathing space for my king. Then I played bishop c4 finally. Now he challenged. And now my idea was simple. I just want to use that pawn in the center to create openings for myself. So I played rook h2 e1, just to defend the pawn. He attacked my bishop. I took it back. Computer preferred the move bishop goes to to D2 in the center. I did not fancy that move. I wanted to keep pressure in this diagonal. So his king, queen are always having something to think about. So he cut it off. Then I played queen to D3. Um, Played queen to 3 for now. I could have broken this immediately, but of course he had a direct threat here. So I had to act. So queen goes to to F5 check, moves king away, and then I just block it temporarily. And my idea is basically to put G3 soon, since I have protected my 2 pawns for now. So he plays D4. I don't think that's a very good move, just gives the advantage back to me. Then I played an accuracy, but it's a logical move from the human perspective. I want to play G3, but I don't want to give up the pawn on F3. So just play that so that it consolidates the position. But at the same time, I'm putting a whole strong hold in the center, and I'm at the moment dominating it. Position is quite equal still. His bishop on E7 doing a very good job. And then I play rook B to F8. And of course, I was happy about that because my queen had restricted the rook on H8. H8 because the pawn on A7, H7 behind. So we played queen check. It's the best move. He broke the queen for exchange. And believe it or not, the best move here was not G3. The best move is actually C3, forcing matters and opening up the center. That gives me a slight advantage. Game still equal, but I have more to play with. And then I just retract my bishop to G1 and add no pressure in this area. And of course, it's difficult for him to take this because when my rook takes, then now I'm attacking both the G5 and C5 pawns. So again, creating so much pressure in that area of the center. It's weakness here, but I'm still again not so worried about it. Like I said, it's a long-term strategic move. But I chose the less accurate the J5. It's still okay, but because when you take that, he has to be really, really careful how to progress here. So he plays king, which is not very good, takes steps. Then I played C3. Now C3, good move. He has a good way to defend that. And then he took that. Now I should have played the way engines calculate B4 was a correct move. And of course, if you try to, you have to play a move to F5. But if you try to take the pawn on B4, you just get into this terrible tactic, rook C4 check, and you just have nowhere to defend that bishop, and that would be losing at once. So you cannot take that. So when he took that, I didn't play accurately. I actually gave him some soup, and he played rook activated, and then I put my rook for exchange. And this is just to, keep a hold on the center, get my king to the center position. It blocks me. And again, I didn't play very accurately. I should have played here. Computer preferred that I should play instead of going back. I could have actually played the bishop move, bishop to to G1. That is what was preferred in the position. And then you can play move rook H5, takes the pawn, and then my king centralizes. And basically, its position is quite equal. There's not so much any of us can do. But of course, black has to be careful in this position. So we continue like this, and then we're getting to time trouble. And of course, in time trouble, so many things can happen. So I take the king and recovering my pawn. And yeah, he's basically winning here if he just plays king d5. Though it looks risky because if he plays king d5, I can play king e3, and then he plays king e5, and then he's dominating me here. That's the idea. And then he removed this pawn forward. I have to deal with it in the text stakes, and that would be a winning endgame for him. So he couldn't find that in time trouble. He instead played that, and then I took, and then broke my king back to the center. And this is basically a draw. So the game went on, and I tried to create a bit of discomfort in the position, but I found a way to hold the position. In the end, it lost in time, but I thought that it was a very instructive game. At some point, actually, let me just run through that here. The computer wanted me to play the move g4. And you can see these are not very human kind of moves, but at the same time, they're very instructive. For example, if takes, knight goes to e5, same way as I was planning before, and maybe bishop goes to e7. Or if you try to hold on to it, you actually cannot hold on to it. So you have to play bishop e7. It makes a lot of sense, not too engine like anymore. And then you have moves like bishop and e6. The whole game, just becomes chaotic. Knight and g6, and there's so much going on. I think rook h7 is the only move to play this one. I think bishop takes h6, rook times g6, and this is probably lost. I don't know. If bishop takes, king takes, we don't queen anymore. Okay. So the computer wants that to take with bishop, and then you h8 check. Then you have to take it. Then rook takes, and you have to play king e7 and lose your queen. So the engine line actually is very, very instructive. I missed that, but again, we have to be aware of such moves. And the reason why I brought out this game is because it has all these ideas which were missed in the game, but creates so much dynamism in the position. Like us play really, really quite carefully. Thank you, viewers, for watching this video. I hope it was instructional. The game is and I thought it had nice points that g4 in this case, b4 immediately after the c3 move, and I thought that would just create a lot of chaos on the board. You need to learn how to be able to place that move. Those are kind of GM-like moves. I missed them. I'm not a grandmaster, so I missed them anyway. But I think that if we get some more familiar with these kind of moves, then our chess improves quite a bit, and we start to find those GM-like moves in our play. So thank you once again for watching. Tell your friends about it. See you next time. Bye-bye.